Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. I am going to be sharing with you a quick dinner that I am making for the family, as well as just having some real mom talk with you guys. So, my name is Eddie, and I am a therapist who specializes in trauma with women, and I am a coach who also works with other middle-aged working moms to help us bring sanity through in our homes and in our lives through just simple lifestyle and homemaking. So I am sharing that I am making this black bean soup recipe, which my goal for these videos and for this channel really is to pull back the curtains and eliminate the fear that you may have about like cooking home cooked meals, because it can feel like you don't have time. It could feel overwhelming. It could feel like there's so many ingredients. It can feel like like it takes too much effort to put together a home cooked meal. But my goal is to help encourage you through like real life, like showing you the messiness, but also the simplicity of being able to cook a home cooked meal that
Yeah,
doesn't
baby.
require a lot of effort, doesn't require a lot of brain power,
What?
doesn't require all kinds of recipes,
All right,
etc.,
now I'm making your bed.
and really empower you to take back control of your home and your life by just simple things,
Hello.
right? So here I am before my son is about to get on the bus, and I am about to have a full day of sessions where I'm making a black bean soup.
Although I
And
should make an
really,
onion soup.
any of the recipes that I share, like, have to be Eddie proof. Like, they just have to be simple. They have to be, in some ways I could do it, like with my eyes closed if need be. As you can see here, I still have my coat on. I am about to get my son on the bus, and then I am about to have sessions. So in this recipe, it's really simple, you guys. It is onions, sauteing onions in the crock
You want
pot.
what, baby?
It is 2 cups of
Oop.
black beans that I'm sauteing. I put a scoopful of collagen protein broth, because I don't have chicken broth. You can use chicken broth or chicken stock or any kind of stock that you have to flavor the soup. Some salt, some pepper, some adobo seasoning, and and that's it, literally. And 8 cups of water, and that's it. So that's really, I want to demystify, because for the longest time I said, "Oh, I'm not a cook. I don't cook. I don't know how to cook. It seems too complicated." You would watch, at least for me, I would watch Food Network, and I would think like, I don't have it. Like, I just, it's so cool to watch these people, or you watch Top Chef, and they have all of these really great palettes and all of these things, and so I was intimidated by the idea of cooking. And then when I became a wife and a mom, I resented cooking, because I was like, this is, you're asking me to do something that is out of my wheelhouse. And really what changed was at the end of last year. Well, maybe more than like at the end of last year, but last year I just kind of decided, you know what, I'm going to embrace the whole cooking thing, right? And I did not set myself up by these really difficult recipes. I was like, what are some recipes that are just like under 20 minutes, that are basically can be Eddie proof. And I have actually compiled a collection of recipes that I use, that are on repeat in our house. My picky kids love to eat it. We love to eat it. It's healthy, it's simple, it's something that any working mom can do together with their kids, or just by themselves. But that's that's the recipe portion of this video, and I will just link a copy of the recipe, as well as just my recipe guide if you're interested in picking it up. But in this portion of the video, I want to talk to you moms about stress, and I want to talk to us about really, what stress means, why we seem to always be so stressed and overwhelmed. And, I want to give you some insights and maybe some relatability to help you maybe reframe the idea of stress and really try to create some clarity around why you're so stressed. So, the thing that I tell my clients and to myself, to be honest, is when I'm feeling stressed, and stressed is a normal part of life. I think stress, is a good thing. I think when it is a constant state of stress, when it is a constant state of overwhelm, that's when we really need to think about what are we doing in our lives that is creating such overwhelm, and why are we always so overwhelmed and burnt out. And the first thing I want to say is I want to define for me what stress, how I define stress for myself and for my clients. And anytime I'm feeling stress or overwhelmed, it is a realization that the demands of life are exceeding the resources that are available to us. So I am constantly thinking about the analogy of, withdrawals from a bank account, right? We're like like you have bank accounts, you put money away, and at some point you're overdrawing from your account, like you're in the negative, right? And when you think about when you're in the negative, when you're not making regular deposits into your navigation bank, right? Like your stress bank or your ability to cope with life, if you're not making regular deposits, but then you're constantly making withdrawals all the time, and imagine that, like, it's not just a withdrawal of, a monthly mortgage payment, which that's everyday stress. I don't want to say everyday stress, but like, imagine that the everyday stress is like your car breaks down, you have a medical emergency, you have like, I look at it as like this is what it feels like with our lives. Like everything always feels like the sky is falling, like the bake sale is tomorrow, like you've got to fill out this paperwork tomorrow. We need this from you tomorrow. We need this paperwork signed tomorrow, like today. Like there's constantly this sense of there's this constant emergency that is happening, and we never have time to replenish the bank account. We never have time to replenish our souls, and so we're overwhelmed and we're stressed because the demands of life are exceeding the resources that are available to us. And I get it. When you are in this constant fight or flight, or the sky is always falling, it's very hard to think about, like, how am I going to replenish, right? And for us moms, that replenishment is rest, is just, like slowing down. But again, good luck trying to tell a mom who's got, and I have two little kids who just have very different needs, and it's mom, 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 mom all the time, and play with me, and da da da, and oh my god, she's having a tantrum, and I have to keep her safe, and they're fighting, and like, when you are having, like, are constantly demanded things, and I'm a therapist, and I get clients who are like, I need the super bill, and I need the invoice, and can you send me this thing, and I need the resource, and all the things. Like, you're constantly being bombarded by needs, right? By demands of your time and your energy and your effort. And but I'm saying to you, I need you to think about how can you make deposits into your resource bank so that you have the capacity to not only deal with the day-to-day stressors of life, but then the big car accident, or the big, bill that you need to pay, right? And so one of the things that I want you to think about when you're in a, a moment of stress, or when you're feeling the stress, and I think that this is something that you can do, hopefully in the quiet. You can't really do this when the ship is sinking, right? Like, it's very hard to be like, yeah, let me take some time to reflect, right? But I want you to try to think about whether the stress that you're experiencing, is it rooted in a sort of internal locus of control, or is it an external locus of control? And by the external versus internal locus of control, the internal locus of control is like, you know, let me go external. External is, the kid is sick and you have to go get the kid right now. You have a deadline. That's the external, right? Like, there's just things that are out of your control. Your car broke down. That is out of your control. And so you have to navigate that right now. Like that is out of your control. But then there's the internal locus of control where you're saying to yourself, oh, I have to do this perfectly, or I have to do the laundry, or I have to, like the house has to be clean, that this that has to be done. Like there are these things that we are putting pressure on ourselves that if we think about it, it's like really we want these things done, but they don't need to be done. And in saying that, I also think about the external locus of control. If somebody says, I need this thing right now, you have the ability to choose to say, okay, you're demanding this of me, but is it really something that I have to deal with right now? Or is it something that can wait? And the only way to get to that place of discernment and differentiation is to pause, right? I think so often we are quick to react and we're quick to be like jump and dang. And it's like, no, no, no. I need you to pause. I need you to take a break and I need you to think about like you have this split second to choose, to make a choice. And so what is your choice? You can push through, you can explode, you can give yourself a timeout, you can just say stop. And so I am going to ask you to stop and pause and think about where you have a locus of control and then to take it and to make deposits into your stress bank. I hope this was helpful. Quick video, quick, just little inspiration. I hope you like this video. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, guys.